on, everybody? So we're Patrick. Today's video, we are in for a juicy leg day. This is something that, you know, I've been grinding my absolute ass off. We know the last stage shots, that was a glaring weak point, was the legs. Just between like not training them properly for like honestly the first like 4 to 5 years of lifting. I feel like it's a mistake a lot of people make, and I definitely was guilty of that. And then again, I made some mistakes last prep while dieting that just didn't help me hold on to my legs. So I think there's gonna be a much better result this time from the growth that I've added from murdering myself on these leg days, and then also obviously doing my prep a little bit smarter. But yeah, so you guys know my split. I'm resting either side of legs right now. A lot of people think like, oh, that's such bad frequency, like you're not gonna grow like that. But the main thing that has made the change is the absolute freshness and like zero fatigue going into every leg session because I'm resting and I rested the day before. And then also just kind of the mentality you go into the leg days when I know that tomorrow I'm going to be resting. And obviously I love training, so having a rest day before something makes me super fresh, super excited, and just ready to absolutely go crazy. And then also the understanding that I'm not going to leave anything on the table and I'm going to push myself all out because tomorrow is another complete rest day. So it really has made a change to my legs. You'll see just in terms of like the intensity I can bring, you know, the strength that I have on all of these movements, and then obviously just the leg growth that we've seen, you know, from my check-in photos, from, you know, the end of prep till now. The growth has been honestly a night and day difference. So clearly it's working. But yeah, we have to absolutely get locked in and stay focused for this entire session. It honestly ends up being pretty long, so really kind of maintaining the focus is a key component. So I don't want to yap too long, but let's get in there and let's go crazy. Let me show you guys how I've been growing my legs. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? Right before the leg day, bro. No. Oh, what is, bro? God, look at this. You're kidding me. All right, now I have some more rage to put into this leg day. God damn it.
All right, so we start with some calves. One thing you'll notice for the leg day, everything barefoot, and by barefoot I mean socks. Just really get better connection with my foot. I spoke about it in the other pull video, but I was running into ankle issues and just, you know, toe box getting messed up, shoes were kind of squishing my toes, and I just couldn't get a good kind of grip on anything, and I felt it kind of going with my calf, going with my ankle, where I was starting to get pain just from going in, you know, excessive knee flexion, but without a good stable surface, because obviously like your feet and your toes are very important for stability. So if you're having them, you know, altered or crushed or squished by your shoes, trying to, you know, have that stability on the floor is not going to be ideal. So since then, I've been going barefoot and, you know, using my Birkenstocks to kind of allow my feet to actually spread and use my toes to grip stuff. So yeah, one thing you'll notice is the entire leg day is in my socks so that I can, you know, properly use my feet and use my toes to help me stabilize on all my leg stuff. One thing I'll say, obviously we know best exercise for the calves is going to be, you know, a toe press. You'll notice this is not even a toe press, this is a leg press. So easiest way for pretty much any gym, if you have, you know, a pin loaded leg press, you just set it up as a toe press. It's perfect. Sometimes I'll rip like a 12 to 15 rep set first, just to really get the blood flow, especially coming into something like this cold. Just really get a pump in my calves and my ankles and get stuff warmed up, even with the set to failure before going super heavy. I just don't feel it when I go into, you know, calf raises or toe press, and I just go like heavy right off the bat, like 6 to 8 reps. It's just like I move the weight and I hit like that failure, but I just really don't feel it targeting my calves. So yeah, a nice setup 12 to 15 first, and that allows me to really kind of concentrate and really get a good contraction when I go to the lower rep stuff.
Goddamn bitch, I'm one of a kind. I could tell by the look in your eyes. You just told a bunch of the lies.
It feels good. Oh, despite my expression, that feels good. I was thinking like, this feels good. Why don't I normally use this? And that's why. Already at the stack. One thing you'll see, you want to make things harder, okay? Besides, you know, what you see online, it's not cool to stack every single machine just for the sake of it. A lot of people, they make stuff lighter and they use what's easier and what they're stronger with, so like they can get that stroke of the ego that they're stacking it and they're adding a gym pin and stuff. I don't like gym pinning machines. So if there's a heavier version in my gym that I can accomplish the same thing, which there is, but someone was taking it today, I always use that one. Because I don't want to take out the gym pin and put plates, like it's just a waste of time and energy when I don't need to. Of course, you're gonna see today on the adductor or on the quad extension, like it's unavoidable at a certain point. If you're a bodybuilder, like don't waste your energy and time on lighter stuff when there's a heavier alternative. Sure, it's not gonna help the ego because you're not, you know, stacking it out with the gym pin and everyone's like not looking and shit, but that's just my take. Let me move on to some adduction, some actual fun stuff. Something I definitely lacked my last prep. I kind of picked up what felt like an adductor injury. It's hard to say, but I just had a feeling in it that wasn't too good. My mistake was I was just like, you know what? I don't want to get injured. So I honestly, during my prep, just took my adductor work completely out of my routine because in my head I was just like, I just can't afford to get injured, obviously. That was a huge mistake. I mean, you can just tell my legs had no width by the time I got down to, you know, 7% body fat. So that was a mistake. Obviously you live and you learn, but there's tons of room for them to grow for sure, which is why I threw this entire bulk. 3 sets have been in at my second exercise on both my leg days. And, you know, we've gotten decently strong on it. So I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen when we prep this time, what development we have there. So yeah, we'll get into this. This is definitely one of those exercises you don't wanna just fluff around. Like you wanna treat it like anything else with proper technique, proper range of motion, and real intensity, which you'll see me do. This Nautilus one is great. You know, it's one of those ones where it can be an adduction or abduction. It's pretty heavy, so I can put a little bit of weight on the stack, but you know, it's not like those Life Fitness ones where you put 3 plates and you're doing it for 10 to 12 reps. This, I'm like lucky if I can do stack plus a plate for like 8. So we'll see what we work up to, but yeah. She fucking pull up, slide on what up, gang, we let up. One little truck in the back, let up. Is it real like our age, so play? Yeah, let's set it up and love, we hitting me up. Yeah, let's set it up and love, letting me in the twat. Yeah, let's set it up and love, letting that shit up. I saw my money to do one thing and that's go up. Whoa, so much cap in the beach. Somebody go for the hat on the beach. Yeah, I let him walk into me like somebody. I like to take usually one assisted rep just at the top there because it really does pick up in that shortened position. So I like to get that help with that last one. And this I'll kind of do one like pretty heavy set like that, like only got 7. And that last one was for 8. And then the rest I'll do like probably 10 plus reps. And just obviously remain in control there and not go too heavy on this. A massive tip with this, you gotta watch where my feet is placed, okay? What I used to do is put my foot in here, like my heel in the hole, and then my inside of my foot would be driving on this platform here. And that would really help me kind of ego lift it and get a lot of sort of leg drive. Makes you a lot stronger, but doesn't do much for your actual adductors. So one way you'll notice that I execute this now is my feet are like way out here and they're not touching the inside of this like metal portion of the leg pad kind of thing. And the only part that's actually connecting on is the inside of my thigh to the pad. And my feet are honestly completely taken out of it. They're just there for like stability, but they're so kind of off that little divot. And it makes you a lot weaker. So obviously having that extra leg drive is helping you move more weight without obviously growing your adductors. And especially something on this where most people can already stack the machine they have in their gym. It makes sense to have a technique that makes you way weaker so that obviously you have a larger progression for runway, or a larger runway for progression. I said that backwards, but yeah. So give it a try on your adduction. You'll probably have to take like half the weight off. But in the long term, will be way better for your adductors. What if I told you all this just for a quad extension? As long as my legs grow, I'll do what I need to do. So step 1, the mat. Step 2, wrist straps. Step 3, seat belt. So I'll just say this one last thing before we absolutely locked in and do our working sets. Is all this necessary? Is all this worth it? Is all this gonna contribute to more growth? It looks like a lot. Looks like a lot of shit just for a quad extension. This is my answer. Are my legs growing? Yes, that's it, man. So many people want to complicate it more past that. Sure, tell me it's stupid, tell me it doesn't matter, tell me it's useless. My legs are growing, brother. That's all I want, man. That's all a guy like me wants to do is just grow my legs. All this extra shit allows me to like just mentally lock in more, even if it's doing nothing. That's already a plus. Adding to me extra stability and allowing me to take my quads further, maybe. As long as they grow, that's all I care about. You can think it looks stupid, you can think it's extra. That's literally it. Like, I don't care, really. They're growing, that's it. But you gotta watch the intensity. I'm not doing all this and just wasting it, you know? You gotta watch the intensity and then you'll be like, oh, no wonder his legs are growing.
Yeah, goddamn bitch, I'm one of a kind. I can tell by the look in your eyes. You just told a bunch of the lies. Yeah, I'm a one of a kind. I'm just one of a kind. I'm not one of those guys. Yeah, I got a bitch and she into the signs. I'm not in it, ain't in it to lie. I'm just itching, I'm itching to slide. Yeah, my pockets ain't fitting inside. What I'm smoking is one of a kind. I'm highwaying up, I'm in the sky. This how it look when you try. This how it look when your bitch got a vibe. But this time the car ain't mine. So that's why I'm pushing and switching the sides. Pull up with the drip and the bitch on the side. I know that my wrist is a brick, that's a bitch wanna try. I tell you that this is my time.
That was good. So one thing you'll see is what I used to do, which is actually like pushing out and not going as hard, is once I would hit that sticking point and it wouldn't like move, I would just start dropping into partials like right away. It's giving up on the set too early in my opinion, because it's almost like once it gets like sticky where the weight's really not moving, that's when you just drop it back down and then you start going for partials, which are like almost useless because you're still driving it where, you know, like it's comfortable in a sense of like, if you're driving it through that sticking point and like you're all out pressing, you could say pressing all out, it's not moving at all. That's where like, of course, the highest motor units are gonna be. That's where it's like literally signaling to your brain, like we are trying to do this activity and we literally cannot complete it. Like we're pushing all out and the weight is like barely, ever so slightly grinding up, but barely moving. Just thinking logically, it makes sense that's where you're gonna grow the most, right? Like that's gonna be the most effective rep or most stimulating rep. I don't do any like little partial. I just keep pushing until like I'm literally screaming all out, trying to flex as hard as I can to move the weight, and it just like is completely stuck, not moving, and then I'll go back down, and then I'll end this.
I'm one of a kind, I don't wanna slam. I came from a trap, I don't wanna lie. My bitch got some racks, my wrist is a down, my tie got a flat. I'm switching the ride, I'm walking out back, I hop in the back. I'm counting the bag on the way to a check. Yeah, goddamn bitch, I'm one of a kind. I could tell by the look in your eyes. You just told a bunch of the lies. Yeah, I'm one of a kind.
And you'll see, right? Like, even though I'm doing the stack, there's not no stupid like 3 or 4 rep sets. Like, just 10 failing on 11, 10 failing on 11, like 10 to 12 quad extensions. Like, I think honestly, this low rep shit has gone so far, man, because it's gone way too far, because it hits a point where you're going so heavy on certain exercises where it's like, you cannot help but cheat. It just gets to a point where like it doesn't make sense. I don't really have to go in depth and explain it. Just look at the people that are pushing it. And you'll see no side-by-sides on their page. You'll see no check-in photos. You'll just see, ooh, quad extension with 2 plates, plus 2 plates, stack plus 2 plates. Like, brother, where are your legs at? Where? So that's all I gotta say about that. So far, done 3 sets of calves, 3 sets of adductor, 3 sets of quad extension, and now we're ready to do 3 sets on hamstring curl. And then we move into our pendulum squat and our leg press. One thing that people don't get is all volume is not created equal. Like when you're managing volume and you're like, bro, 12 sets before a quad compound is useless. You're doing so much volume, it's not useful, blah, 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 it's a waste. You're too fatigued, blah, blah, blah. You gotta understand where to put more volume and where to put less. I only have today 1 set on pendulum and 2 sets on leg press. Those are going to be my actual like fatiguing movements that are gonna bury me and put me in the floor because of, you know, the load I have to use, and just really going like to failure on those exercises just is a full body movement, right? If you know, do 3 or 4 sets of like a hack squat, and then you're trying to do 3 or 4 sets of a quad extension, 3 or 4 sets of a hamstring, it's like, what are you doing? It's not gonna work out, right? That is if you're training intensity. Like after 1 set of pendulum, I'm dead. After 2 sets of leg press, I'm dead. So it's like you pick your battles where it's like, you can do 3 sets on a calf raise, like I'm gonna be fine.
I can do like 3 sets on my adductor, like I'm not really gonna feel it. Like sure, I'm gonna get stimulus, but I'm not gonna be dead, right? Quad extension is a little bit different story, you can tell I'm a little bit more tired. And then hamstring curl is kind of the same thing, but it's like those movements, single joint, very stable movements are so much less fatiguing than, you know, a massive quad compound. So pick and choose your volume, add volume to the lower fatiguing stuff that you can get away with adding stimulus and it doesn't destroy your workouts. Take your 1 or 2 set approach to the really like big meat and potato stuff that like is gonna bury you, because after 1 or 2 sets, it's not even gonna be effective anymore. Honestly, this Atlantis, it's not great. It feels like I'm in the middle of like different settings. It's not the best for stability, like it's a bit annoying and like it kind of shakes like crazy. What I'll do honestly, if it's something like this, right? This is where it's like, it makes sense to not try to like gun crazy weight, because if I'm gonna get like misgrooves or like, you know, I'm gonna slip out of the seat and like all this shit, then it's better to just really go lighter and really get a lot of control and push yourself that way, because of course you're still taking it to failure, but if you like simply do not have this ability because of, you know, a certain machine, take the loading back so that you can actually stabilize, you know, with your body, and then go lighter weight with more reps and push yourself to failure that way, because, you know, you can control those lighter loads better. It's common sense. Like people don't realize, again, application, nuance, all this stuff goes into your training. They're about to rip off, bro. Now we move into our compounds. Fuck. This is where you very easily drift and just start going through the motion. So this is really where you kind of have to re-up on your lock-in. If you don't, you're not gonna hit the numbers you need to. So it's like, kind of like that was the first half of the workout taken care of. Now it's like, take a sec, lock back into the second half, balls to the wall, then we're done. Secret formula. I've been saying, you know, like ankle issues a bit, calf issues a bit. It only really starts when I do my quad compound stuff. So this is kind of like Rub A535 on steroids, called Tiger Bomb Extra Strength. Basically just gets a lot of heat to the area, so it warms up the joints properly, warms up like the tight kind of ligaments, tight muscles, and has me feeling a lot more comfortable when I get that, you know, full range of motion with a lot of load. So I always just put this on right before I start my quad compounds, and helps. Yeah, so I just go down into the ankle, hit like the tibia muscle, because this gets really tight and it stops me from, you know, getting like that full range of motion. Lather it all up. Oh God, it's not terrible, bro. It's not like, it's just inserts. Like you see the muscle, it's just the inserts are so high that it's like, shit.
Stomping around in some Burberry boots, sliding the pterodactyl inside a reptile, sliding some red sandals, blue diamonds melting the red candle. I'm on the TV.
One thing you'll see me do a lot, especially on these quad compounds, is change up my technique. I don't go to that crazy low depth anymore. I kind of realize that, you know, what your pelvis does in relation to, you know, your quads firing really matters. When you get into that area where you start butt winking and you're dumping your pelvis back because you're going too deep, you actually take tension out of the quads. And now I get so much more like direct stimulus to my quads, shortening the range of motion. Like you'll see how deep I go. I'm still getting like a ton of deflection, but I'm just really going to the point where once my pelvis is gonna start moving and dumping, then I stay right above there. It's a lot harder actually, because instead of just kind of like burying yourself and then using, because all your muscles are essentially lengthened at that bottom. So you're getting that stretch reflex to almost bounce out of it, and then you kind of catch it on the way up. But versus the way I'm doing it now is, obviously I'm gonna need a slow eccentric because I'm not trying to go till like all my muscles are lengthened. And so what that has me to do is, or what that causes me to do is have to slow down the movement to get the weight to stop and then explode up with it. Versus when you're just almost dumping it, or like, you know, kind of, you can dive bomb it, but just with too much range of motion. And then you don't have to actively stop the weight because your body basically stops it once it's at the bottom and you can't go any deeper. That kind of actively stops it for you. And then you just explode out of it and you get that stretch reflex. Versus this, I have to actively slow down and stop the weight. And then with like everything, explode up. It's a lot more control, way more direct stimulus to my quads. I feel my back less, I feel my quads more. That's what I want to do, you know?
This shit starting to pop, need time from my mom. I need time. Stomping around in some Burberry boots, sliding a pterodactyl inside a reptile. Sliding some red sandals, blue diamonds melting a red candle. I'm on the TV, a different angle. I'm in the city with evil angels, sitting around the table. Carrots that look like a lifesaver. You getting cut, won't fade them. You got the cut white face, it's like a blood rotation. It's getting late and the clock just hit. $10,000 jack ain't the shit won't fit. I seen the spot and they taking my flick. Had to call up my 20 to get in this pick.
Perfect spot. Thank you, bro. Oh, bro, straight quad, straight.
I hold my weight, bitch. Riding in the Tonka, it's a heavyweight champ.
It's hard, man. It's like trying to have that balance of like going heavy and getting range of motion, but like not letting the weight fold you up. Cause I've done that in the past where like I just go too deep and it just ends up being like I'm just getting folded and then I'm just like snapping back and just getting folded and snapping back. So it's hard to like balance it out, but gotta do your best. It's like, it's more staying disciplined. Like it's easier just to put like so much fucking weight and just like come all the way down and like have everything squish and then just like press it up. It's a lot harder. Even though it looks easier because it's like less range of motion, it's way harder. Damn, I fucked that up. Okay, we're doing 8 plates then, so wow. Damn, I wish I never counted that. And then I just did this thinking it was 7, but it was 8.
Fuck your feelings, yeah, fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings, fuck your feelings up. Fuck your feelings up, fuck your feelings up. C'est Sully good cook. I live quietly. I push bands, I push buttons. You gon' chop on the split, chop his muffins. You gon' cover that kids, chop their millions. Who you fuck who it is, we'll cover their muffins. I couldn't.
Finish strong, come on.
You fool just said I live on the bed. Yeah, I can't in the money, bitch, this would not end. Yeah. I'm getting that top, I'm getting that noggin. Yeah, I'm like bad, the bitch, I'm riding on. I don't get no shifts. I won't plead the fifth.
No, I got my toe through the mirror. Oh, time for new socks again.
I hold my weight.
Okay, my back's a little cookied up right now. How do I get out, bro? I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. Bro, fuck.
Whoa, what do you want?
How did these girls do this shit?
Just stand up.
Just stand up. Okay. Fuck, man.
Everybody know she a thing. When she looking at me, hit a bitch on the edge. I fuck that hell up for days. Too many hoes on me. I wanna get money instead. Heard the bitch give me head. I thought she love me already. Told her try put me up. I wrote a couple of reds. I need me a no best friend. Walk my right to the end. I can't afford no pussy. Go see the bed.
I was supposed to like pause at the top for a second. In the first 4 reps, I just like gunned it. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to pause. But it felt good. We'll work on that for next week. Fuck. Just like this on the stage. So imagine you walk into the gym and you see a guy with a big ass camera just pointing it straight at some guy's asshole. And it's just Armand holding the camera. Just following around the ass shot. This guy's sick in the head. Okay, if we did this right, there should be not a single line in my legs. Oh no, there's lines. It should look a little thicker, no? Since last time. honestly. But yeah, pumped to shit. There should be no lines in these legs. All right, so that's what, you know, pretty much every single leg day has looked like for the last year in this bulk. Yeah, you can't really tell, you know, that the legs have been brought up. If you look at the check-in photos, it's more obvious, but again, like body fat's been gained, right? So it's just a matter of, you know, preserving the tissue that's added and just now preserving it the entire way through the prep. Crazy though that like I'm literally about to start dieting already, not for prep, but for my pre-prep phase. So essentially how it works, we're gonna have, you know, like a pre-prep phase in around a month where I'm just gonna diet and get to a lesser body fat percentage. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be in at. Right now I'm like 207, 208. My guess for the end of the pre-prep is probably gonna be mid 190s, that's my guess, or maybe even low 190s. And then that way, like you just kind of, you know, get the easy bit of fat loss off, stabilize there so you're a lot leaner. And then, you know, you run like a 4-month prep, which is like 20 weeks. And then it's a lot easier to get into shape versus, you know, last year you guys saw was way too fat at like 215 and, you know, just rushing the fat loss the entire way. It's just not ideal for maintaining muscle mass, especially, you know, when you're trying to get single digit body fat and, you know, even more than single digit, like you're trying to get 5-6%. So it's not easy to do, but definitely we need the longer approach and we need to pull off less fat in longer period of time. So that's the plan going forward. It's crazy that it's already been, I know I haven't really posted on YouTube, but if you've been following me on Instagram, it's crazy that it's already been a year of bulking, bro. It feels like I just stepped on stage like 2 days ago, but it's literally been 12 months already. So the push-up phase is just about done. You know, we're gonna still document the rest of the next like 3 or 4 weeks of it, but then documenting my pre-prep is gonna be very fun. You guys know my body loves to get shredded, so I'm just excited to honestly eat less food because I'm kind of sick of eating. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. That's what we've been doing to grow the legs. That's kind of a little quick little update on what the future is looking like right now for the next few months. But yeah, if you liked the video, obviously leave a like, comment, whatever you want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.